Every single week during these playoffs, I have given you the name of a player who needs to ball out for his team to win. And I've got one for the big game. The Monster.com Athlete of the Week is the guy who needs to get it done for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not Patrick Mahomes. It's not any of these receivers. Certainly, Kelsey. I'm going on the other side of the ball, and he is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and he is their best player on defense, and he needs to ball out. He cannot be swallowed up in the middle of that offensive line by Jason Kelsey. He cannot, if he's going to be out on the edge, be blocked by Lane Johnson. He cannot. He cannot. He's Chris Jones, and he's got to be coming for you. This guy has been terrific in the postseason in his career. And he has been, against Cincinnati, he has been a guy who has gotten it done. Actually, in his career, he had not had a single sack in the playoffs until he faced Cincinnati this week. So he kind of turned it around. His first 14 games, as I said, in these playoffs, he's been terrific. I meant these, not his entire playoff career. You take a look, his quarterback hits, he had as many on Sunday as he did in his entire first 14 games as a Chief. The way that he showed up Sunday is the way that he's got to show up 2 Sundays from now. Again, 3rd and 8. Joe Burrow at the time, what was being referred to on the other sideline as Burrowhead. That ain't happening anymore. Joe Burrow, tie game, 3rd and 8 from his own 35. With about a minute and change to go. Exactly the type of stuff that we've seen Burrow succeed and beat you from this situation. He gets sacked for a 7-yard loss, and it's Chris Jones's second sack of the game. And in his 2022 season, 8th sack of the fourth quarter, including the playoffs. He was the one who forced the Bengals to punt it back to the Kansas City Chiefs, and we all know what happened from there. So, he's got to do it again. And you got Jason Kelsey, and you got right in front of you. If he's going to be sitting there right in the middle of that defensive line, as he does most of the time, and he's got to stop the run on the way to Hurts. That's what he's got to do. And if he's coming around the edge, he's got to make sure he beats Lane Johnson or Mailata or anybody who's in front of him. He's got to do it. He can't just have one of those pedestrian games. He cannot. If he does, I think the Eagles win it. And that's your Monster.com Athlete of the Week going into next week's big game. Sponsored by Monster.com. Monster.com can help you tackle the job search and make your next career move. It's time to get off the sidelines, go to Monster.com and win the job hunt. Look, I know he's an all-pro, and I know he's one of the best that there is in the game, and he could win Defensive Player of the Year. Big whoop. He's got to have a big game. Of course he does. No, he really does.
He needs to wreck the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I know I kind of misspoke at the very top of the segment here. In his first 14 games of his career, he was having pedestrian playoff games. Sunday, 4 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 5 quarterback hits. That's the Jones-a-palooza he's got to show up with in Arizona. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.